Star Carnival.
Has that squishy blooper join your cast of characters yet? He's a newcomer to the party, and then was quickly booted out. No one likes blooper. Sorry, blooper. Okay, next on the list of to be done. Let's see. Odo, Manfure, and you know what, Hammer Brother, sure. 35. Okay, next on the list, we'll be doing Goomba's Booty Boardwalk as we make a mad dash. Forward! In Goomba's Booty Boardwalk. Treasures on the file, pirates on the prowl, blasting cannons. It's time to run the gun in Goomba's Booty Boardwalk. Breezy boardwalk behind me goes straight to a pilot island. Get there as fast as you can. Captain Goomba will wait you there. Give you a free star every time you reach him. What a nice guy. Good thing Dolphin shuttles are standing by to help you get down to the end faster. Spend away, competitors. Shell out coins for rides and candy to make the run again and again. And again and again and again. Yeah, this is pretty much just up Pagoda Peak. From 7. And it is quite a damn reach. Cool. Alright, so Goomba's Booty Boardwalk. It's pretty much just like Mario's Rainbow Castle or Pagoda Peak. It's a very linear map. You start from one end to the next, and then you have to reach the Captain Goomba. When you get to the end, he gives you a star for free. Very nice of him. There are dolphin shuttles along the way, and you get to pay coins to skip ahead a certain number of spaces. You pay more coins if you are ahead in placement, and less if you're behind. And of course there's a lucky space that will take you to a secret area that will get you a free star and some coins. So, landing on any green spaces with yellow piantas, they're chucksters! They will hurl you across several spaces to get you to the goods faster. Landing on any green spaces near the fishing blue piantas will cause their rod to catch a piece of candy and they'll give it to you. Unless your inventory is full, then I'll keep it. There's a green space next to a shipwreck. If you land on that, players get to go inside and coins come out for a chest. Landing on a green space next to the Captain Goomba ship. Probably the most dickish part about this is like legitimately like 2 or 3 spaces away from him. Then his mates are like, "Hey, we don't want you taking Captain Goomba's stuff," and they hurl you back to start. And you gotta make the trek all the way back. Landing on DK space will make Donkey Kong appear, and he will let you put in a couple coins, shake a barrel so you can get some more, and then you reap the rewards. If you land on Bowser space, Bowser will appear and have a bunch of Potoboos and make you dance, fire, dance. while trying to avoid the Podoboos by jumping. If you get hit, you lose coins. During Star Battle Arena, you and the opponent will have to keep going until one of you makes it to the end with 50 coins in hand in order to pay for a star. And I do believe that's it for the game, so yeah, how about it? I don't want to do this. I gotta do this. I said I would. Okay, so last time, you may recall, during Neon Heights in 7, I decided, hey, let's crack out some Soto notes for Xenosaga, because I felt like I wanted to do that. Because it was going to be some time before I tried playing that game again. It was fun, covered the whole map, surprisingly. Had a lot of fun recalling that game. One that I wanted to do for Episode 2. There may be regrets. I'm not exactly at full power to be recounting this right now, but I'll give it a shot. I'm not looking forward to it. Listen, Episode 2 is bad, alright? But I'll give it a fair shake. Okay, so I believe, to preface, Xenosaga Episode II starts, came out, I believe, a year or 2 years after the first game did. Want to say 2. It's definitely 2003, I know that. I have the wiki page open right here, let me see. Yeah, release date, June 24, 2004, Japan. February 15, 2005 in North America, and October 28 in PAL regions. So yeah, I was off by 2 years, but that's basically like 2.5 to 3 years ago, I guess. Oof. In Episode 2, it's the main focuses on our good old homeboy Junior, and not Shion. After she and Cosmos had a nice ring and roll around in Episode 1. And they'll have it again in Episode 3, but this time it is good old red-headed Rubito's turn to learn more about him. And in fairness, we learn quite a bit, and he probably gets off the most clean of this game compared to others. Okay. So, to start off, I did say that Xenosaga likes to revisit, show off the planet of Old Milsha. You may recall this in Episode 1, where we had to briefly go in and dive into the Encephalon to get Cosmos' black box data to prove that the party was innocent of wrongdoing. Our game starts off, Episode 2 starts off, again during the Milshan conflict on Old Milsha, 14 years in the past. We take the place of Chaos and a Realian named Kanan. They are dive bombing, they're like airdropping into the battle zone where the conflict is currently going on with a mech suit, the ES Asher. You may recall Albedo employing a similarly superpowered mech near the end of Episode 1, the Simeon. The Asher is one of those. Here we get to see a nice little bit of a showing of, oh wow, this mech suit looks actually pretty cool. Some hype-ass real robot action in this game. I'm down. Got a nice little shots going in, the music's pretty good. It sets a nice tone, and then you land in the middle of the field, and it's like, whoa, hey, what's going on here? There's background music? Yeah! Xenosaga 2, for all of its faults, did at least a couple of things right. Compared to Episode 1, which had, like, no background music for, like, all overworld stuff. Episode 2 has background music for pretty much every area that you go to in the game, and boy howdy is it welcome, because that deafening silence was, doesn't hold water today in this day and age, so, good on them. Neat sound, man! So you get to run around a little bit to get yourself acclimated to the controls. It's okay for now. You get into fights in the ES, so while you control the ES Asher. And ES battles are pretty fun. Of the two battle systems in Xenosaga Episode II, they are by far the superior option because they actually flow. And you can actually do stuff in them. You actually feel like you're in fights, and you're actually attributing to them. Compared to character battles, which I'll get to in a minute. So, Chaos and Kanan's objective currently is to head into Labyrinthos, which is the UTIC organization's headquarters, pretty much. And they are trying to get back the URTV units that are going berserk, trying to do the whole fending off of Udu thing that was going on, that was touched upon during the first game. As they make their way across, Chaos and Kanan encounter Galaxy Federation officer Jin Uzuki at age 21. Jin, you may recall, is Shion's older brother. He is a handsome guy and a fabulous swordmaster. You see it plain as day where he cuts down an Ames unit with just his bare sword, like with no mobile suit. And that'll let you know that, yeah, this guy's legit. He's a badass. Jin's awesome. One of my favorite characters in all of Xenosaga. He's great. Love him. Jin is also under investigation about the conflict and believes the UTIC organization is a scapegoat for the entire conflict. While keeping while what's going on, keeping all the things larger, keeping all the larger organization stuff hidden in the shadows. Jin currently has access on him the Y data. You may recall the Y data, which was said to be hidden inside Momo during the first game, and it is what Albedo is after. So as this is a flashback, we know it doesn't permanently end up in Jin's hands. But as he explains, Jin says that it has Zohar information as well as other things of very, very crucial importance that people want. After that, you start to go on foot. You take control of Chaos and Jin. In character battles, Kanan stays behind as a guest party member and doesn't really contribute in battle. And then you get to the character battles, and oh my fucking god, what happened here? Listen, okay, character battles not good in Xenosaga 2, okay? They ain't good. Okay, so, Xenosaga Episode 1 battles, they're okay. They're fun. They're slow, and they're very showy, with their bunch of flashy animations. But it worked. Late game eventually boiled down to spam text to win the game. And you got to watch the tech animations play out over and over and over and over and over. But you know what? They looked cool. They were fine. They felt like organic. You could actually get reasonably far in reasonable time frames, do reasonable damage, that sort of thing. No, not here! They gutted that for all that was worth, and believe me, that was worth little. I don't know why they did it. They shouldn't have done it. Why'd they do it? Okay. Alright, so picture, if you will, get into battles and enemies. And when you fight enemies, you have, much like Episode 1, you still have buttons that correspond to certain attack patterns. Like you can press square square to do a certain attack combo, or square circle, or circle square, or circle circle, that sort of thing. Or you can press, I think it's square triangle actually, yeah. Square triangle, triangle triangle, triangle square, square square, that sort of thing. And you can press circle for like an aerial attack or something, or a downed attack, which is what Chaos does. He knocks dudes down while Jin knocks dudes in the air. The main meat of Xenosaga Episode 2's character combat is that you are trying to hit enemies' break zones in order to make them vulnerable to being catapulted into the air or knocked down for extra damage. So long and short of it is that when you hit enemies in a certain order by using a certain pattern of attacks, like say square triangle, that's like BC. Square is B. Square, you're hitting the B zone of an enemy. There's like chest area. C zone is leg area. And then when you hit the enemy, and when you successfully hit the enemy's break zone, which can be anywhere between 2 and 4 zones, so it could be like anywhere between BBCB, or BCC, or BC, or CB, or CBC, that sort of thing. Once you successfully expose the break zone of the enemy, they can be hurled into the air or knocked down for extra damage. Stop me if this sounds familiar to Xenoblade players. What you're meant to do is to break the enemy, then knock them down or launch them in the air, then boost with characters to maintain the momentum going. Nice one, Waluigi. So yeah, it's pretty much the same as Xenoblade's break topple days, or Xenoblade 2's driver combos, break topple air smash. Only it's way less intuitive for a bunch of reasons. See, in order to maintain an enemy's break zone, character has to be boost in time with the character's attack. See, if like say, if you hit BC, but then your next character goes on the enemy's break zone, that BC will not stay. You have to boost with that character in order for it to stay. And then hit them again while they're considered break. To hit their other zones to consider them break zones. And then boost again with the other party members to keep them in break status. You have to build up your boost meter by landing attacks and doing other actions. And it just sounds pretty, that sounds pretty complicated already, right? I haven't even gotten to the stocks yet! Oh boy! Oh baby! Where's the other sleeve? So, in order to maintain constant pressure of attacking, you have to have the feature of the stock command, which basically you go into the tactic menu, like in episode 1, you press X instead of performing an attack action, and then select stock, and then that'll add one stock meter or one stock bar to your gauge, which have a max of 3. Having stocks will allow you to perform more than one attack on that character's turn. This is a faster way of exploiting an enemy's break zones. So say Chaos has two stocks, he can hit BB, BC, or BC, BB, and the enemy is broken, and then he can inflict down on them. In order to maintain that, Jin has to boost next. And then he can attack once, or unless he has stocks ready, then he can attack 3 or 4 times, depending on how many stocks he has. And if you want to keep the pressure going, you boost again with Chaos. All to make sure you maintain maximum damage output. But Ray, you might be saying, wouldn't just buying weapons or equipment make it all better? Naive child! Oh, you sweet, naive child. There is no equipment in Xenosaga Episode II. There are no shops. There is no money to buy anything with. All you get are skill slots. And meager stat increases. The only way you're going to be actually doing consistent damage, and believe me, the damage you do throughout the game is barely noticeable. Like, even when you reach level 99, you barely do any more damage than you would normally do at, say, level 35 or 50. No shops to buy recovery items. They're all drops, or given to you from quests, or found on the overworld, or chests. Stocks also serve another purpose, along with boost gauge. Carrot... My brain's kind of going a million miles an hour right now. Double techs are a thing in Xenosaga Episode II, and they're pretty cool. You do flashy moves and do some nice damage. So you need the prerequisite characters need to have a certain amount of stock. I think a certain amount of boost gauge as well. That might be Episode 3 I'm thinking of. The main problem with the double attacks is that they don't do nearly as much damage as simply stock crushing an enemy. And guess what? You'll be doing that a lot for bosses because boy howdy, those are some chunky motherfuckers. So, in case you haven't been paying attention to what you need to do for each boss encounter, it's basically... For regular encounters, it's just basically like one round of stock building and then break zone and then go to town. But for bosses, it's basically build stocks for every character until they have 3, hit the enemy's break zone, if you can find it, because it's trial and error, get them broken, unless they can't be broken, and once they're vulnerable, either air them or down them with the character of your choice, then boost to keep the pressure going. If the boss didn't die, repeat this process until they do die. It sounds like a lot from just me explaining it. Believe me, it takes quite a bit of time and practice for it to do too, and it went a long way to the this game's reputation of its combat being quite repetitive. And it's too bad because there are some actually legitimate cool things in this game that do warrant some closer inspection with the combat, such as dual text and double magic as well. In order to do double magic, the game doesn't tell you this immediately. I think you have to find out through an NPC. Both characters need to have the required spells learned, and you need to have one character ready to cast a spell, and the other character that has the spells boosted. Then you press triangle on the spell, and then it brings up a menu of available double spells. Like, say, both players have Medica, which is the basic healing spell. You press, you do double magic and then press triangle, and then you cast, double Medica, which heals the entire party for only 2 EP for both party members. You have to spend it. The equivalent would be casting Medica All, which is a single party, which is an all heal, but the one character has to pay 10 EP. Double Medica 2 will be your lifeblood for a very long portion of the game, so get used to that. If this sounds like a lot, I'm sorry. It'll be better if you looked up a video or something showcasing combat, because it'll be a little bit better to visualize than just me explaining it. But believe me, it is quite cumbersome. Long story short, don't like the battle system in Episode 2. It sucks. I gotta deal with it. So anyway, this game has a story. Jin, Chaos, and Kanan continue along the path on foot until they reach the top of a building, and that's when they encounter UTIC operative Margulis. You may recall him as being sort of a very intense guy, voiced by good old Michael McConaughey. He and Jin have a sick-ass rivalry going on, and he is your first major boss of this section. Quite a fun foe to fight, and get you involved in the battle system for all the good it does. After the boss battle, Jin and Margulis have a pretty awesome sword fight in the cutscene form, and some hype music playing. Pretty sick. One of the better cutscenes in the game. I believe Margulis breaks away, and the rest of the party escapes. Well, Kanan is entrusted to the rest of the Y data from Jin, and then wake up time. The flashback, as it was a part of Kanan reliving his memories about where the Y data has gone. And Kanan is trying to piece together his fractured memory, because he doesn't remember everything about himself. Poor guy. But hey, I hope you enjoyed that one little flashback about how the game works and shit. I'm sure we'll never see old Milsha again. And that's the game's prologue, and oh god, I need some water. This is making my throat parched. I'll be right back. Okay, I got some soda. Whew! Okay, so present day happens after Kanan gets his memories analyzed. We see Margulis talking with Patriarch Sergius the 17th of the Space Pope organization Ormus. Yes, I'm not shitting you. This dude is literally the Pope of Space. Well, let me give you an image of this guy. This guy right here. He is the Space Pope. So, Margulis is aware of Albedo, being on track to unlock the safeguard to the Y data pretty soon. Now that he's, done the thing to Momo during the first game, and they're pretty much waiting for their time to strike. They're also talking about the motives of Ormus operative Heinlein, a name to keep in mind for later. This is something to keep track of, since it'll be much more important starting with episode 3. And then Kanan relents to himself that he can't really continue his investigation, and cannot analyze the Y data stored within him. So our party now cuts to our heroes after immediately after where the first game ended, when the party crash landed onto Seka Milsha from the Elsa after stopping in front of Merkaba. We hear Shion giving a sit-rep report to her executives at the top of Vector Industries about what transpired from the first game, basically talking about people she met and Cosmos' activation and subsequent or self-activation and self-autonomy. And how it was like, I did not program her to do this, neither did Kevin. Or maybe we thought we didn't. This needs further looking into. All the while we see everyone in the party just trying to collect themselves. And it's at this point you notice that, oh god, what happened to the art style? So, Episode 1 had a very definitive anime style look to it. Looked pretty cool. A bit real stylized. Probably not for everyone. It was definitely for me. A lot of characters had a nice distinct look about them. Shion was adorable. Cosmos looked pretty cool, that sort of thing, and then it's like, and then, what the hell happened to you, Shion? What the hell happened to you, Cosmos? Oh god, what happened? So, the devs decided that they wanted to try a more realistic art style to broaden the appeal to the Western demographic, considering that it seemed Episode 1 seemed to do better in Western shores than over in Japan. Even though it still didn't do all that well.
Lucky!
And there was a history of, lucky does it? Westerners liking a more, realistic style. And nothing wrong with a realistic style. I mean, hell, look what I'm doing. I'm trying to draw a realistic Felicia, for God's sake. But, the way they went about it wasn't the most clean. Hold on, I'm gonna get a picture of Shion for a comparison. There she is. Show you how she looks between both games. Just as a general example, and I think I'll do it from Cosmos as well. Where's the gallery? This damn wiki. Let's talk. Whoops. I'm gonna have to open this up like this. So we've already seen Episode 1 Shion. Looks like this. Very anime, very distinct hairstyle, the wide eyes, the glasses, the vector uniform. Looks dorky as heck, but also very cute. That sort of thing. Worked really well with the engine that the game was running on. And it's no surprise that they kept with this design for Xenosaga 1 and 2 on the DS, as well as the animation, the anime adaptation. And then here's how she looks in Episode 2 with the same vector uniform, alongside Cosmos. She lost her glasses because Alan accidentally stepped on them. The hairstyle's still there. The eyes are not that realistic. There's still a little bit of the anime-esque. There's still kind of a roundish to it. Well, they're kind of fat. Like they're definitely slimmer, but the body proportions, they just kind of feel fatter than they should be. And you can tell from Cosmos as well that she just does not look at all like herself compared to what she looked like in Episode 1.
Lucky!
Ooh, another lucky. Not everyone got it this bad. Ziggy basically looks the same. Like, he doesn't look different at all. Junior, he looks pretty much the same, he just has smaller eyes now. Momo is okay. She looks better in her in the outfit she gets in this game, but her episode 1 transition, not the best. Chaos looks fine too. But oof, Shion and definitely Cosmos, they had it the roughest. Like, they had it really bad. Another thing you will notice immediately from playing the game in English is that most of the voice cast sounds different for the main cast. And not for the better. Alas, for episode 1, it really didn't do all that well. And as such, there was less budget to work with for a lot of things, and notably the localization. The voice acting budget got a little slashed, and so some characters had to have their roles replaced. Yeah, we're talking about Xenosaga Episode II now, Tyler. So, not everyone got changed. Ziggy's still Richard Epcar. Junior's still Brian Sedal. Alan, the boy, still Dave Wittenberg. Alas for everyone else. So, first noticeable is change was Shion. She's not Leah Sargent anymore, but Olivia Hack. And quite a big downgrade for me personally. Sorry. Ooh, love this talking. Leah basically made Shion for me, so not hearing her voice was kind of a big blow. Olivia Hack tries, but she just can't hack it. Pardon the pun. Compared to Leah Sargent. Cosmos is now voiced by Colleen O'Shaughnessy. You would know her as Alicia from Valkyria Chronicles. She does okay, but she's no Bridget Hoffman. She had a good role for Cosmos as well. You can tell she's trying, but they just feel like entirely different characters. Chaos is no longer Derek Stephen Prince, but Joshua Seth. You may know him as good old Ty from Digimon. Still trying to go for the soft chill boy sort of thing, but his voice is like way deeper. It sorta works, but not as good as I liked it. I think he does better in episode 3 though. Momo is voiced by Christina Pacelli. I think most people would know her as Sunny from Metal Gear Solid 4 and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. She does okay as Momo. Again, I feel like she does a much better job as her in episode 3. You get used to it, I think. I feel like I'm just wasting time just talking about superfluous things rather than talking about the story, but trust me, there's not a lot of story to talk about in this game. So, the party makes it onto Second Ocean proper, and Shion, Alan, and Cosmos go their separate ways from the rest of the party, so they can go back to Vector Industries headquarters and just report on what they found. while Momo is going to go get herself examined. Momo gets to speak with her mom, Yuli Mizrahi. Though she seems a little bit cold to meet her, like she doesn't really want to see her. And Ziggy is very noticeable about the whole thing and calls her out on it. No idea what kind of light source I'm going to be going for with this one. I'm just kind of winging it as I'm talking about this game. So the party of four, Junior, Ziggy, Chaos, and Momo decide to head over to see Yuli Mizrahi, and they take a nice car ride over. But zounds, they are ambushed by two UTIC operatives in mech suits, Richard and Herman, as they fly alongside their car and try to forcibly kidnap Momo. And what happens is one of the best scenes in the game. No lie, it's really cool what happens here. Basically, Momo takes command of the car they're in on autopilot. She just takes manual control of it and tries to escape. She proves she's one hell of a driver. Some sick-ass music is playing while Junior is trying to fend off the robots. And some carnage goes on in the streets of Second Miltia. It's pretty awesome. Would recommend looking it up for yourself. It's I think you would type in Xenosaga Episode II car chase scene or something, and then you'd probably find it. It's pretty great. They manage to break away temporarily, and then they hoof it on foot. But they get to the middle of the area they're in, and they're being constantly chased by UTIC operatives, just rando soldiers. And then when they get to the center of the plaza they're in, Richard and Herman stop them in their tracks, and then you have a boss fight between them. Well, you fight them in their mech suits without any mech suits of your own, so good luck. You beat them, and then Pellegrini, you may recall her as being Margulis's second in command. She comes in with her own mech suit, the ES Issachar. Basically, it's a mech suit with a giant spear attached to it. They use a spear as a weapon. And things don't look good for the party, but then Kanan appears in the ES Asher, right in the nick of time to help them out and get Pellegrini and the others to back off. As for Shion's party, she makes it back to Vector Industries and is debriefed on the situation and the increasing Gnosis threat. After all is said and done, Shion gets to go back home to her house and change clothes, as well as reunite with her brother. She and her are not on the best of terms, if you recall their little conversation in the first game. They didn't exactly get along eye to eye, and they still don't exactly get along eye to eye, especially with Shion's increasing emotional distress. She's going through a lot of the pains, as it were, and You know, a lot of the thing where I said where she has a lot of, someone would ask her about her problems, like Alan is, I'm like, hey, Shion, is something bothering you? And like, she's like, oh no, it's nothing, I'm fine, don't worry about it, it's nothing, I'm fine, it's nothing, I'm fine. Get ready to hear that a lot, because she doesn't shut the fuck up when people try to ask for help, and then she's like, nah, I'm good, fam, thanks. And it starts to get really bad when we can very clearly see that something is wrong with Shion, but she's like, nah, I'm good. What are you talking about? As for episode 2, Shion, her new look, she looks like, this? It's not a bad outfit for her, and I would have liked to have seen it in the typical art style the game has episode 1 used, but, she barely feels like Shion. So eventually, Shion reunites with the other half of the party, as she's trying to get away from Jin. Actually, kind of a funny scene. She's a little bit rude about it though. She's like, no, I really don't want to see Jin. And kind of feigns a whole lot of please don't find me here, while they're trying to clean the restaurant. Kind of bad about it. Momo makes it to the UMN control center where she's going to be analyzed for the Y data inside of her. While Yuli is like, Momo, I kind of want to accept her as my daughter, but at the same time, she looks too much like Sakura. I can't do it. I can't do it. And this is the main reason why she's acting so cold towards Momo, because she just has massively conflicted feelings about the whole thing. Go! So they they begin analyzing the data inside Momo. And what happens is another one of my favorite scenes in the game, complete with one of my favorite tracks in the game, Communication Breakdown. Remember that little thingamabob that Albedo planted inside Momo in episode 1? Yeah, turns out he was waiting for this. Upon analyzing Momo's data, Albedo begins to hack the interior of the UMN control center within Momo's body, and just try to take the Y data for himself. This causes Momo to become paralyzed, as well as all of the 100 series of aliens that are analyzing her, to shut down prematurely. Guinan is also there, and he sees the whole thing going down, along with Representative Helmer. And they both immediately realize, oh shit, oh fuck, this is Albedo's work, ah, fuck. So, Yuli gets to have the painful choice of trying to decide, hey, we should probably delete the data, even if it costs Momo her soul, or her memories. But Ziggy's like, mate, you probably shouldn't do that! And Yuli's like, we can't let the Y data fall into enemy hands. She's about to press the button to delete the data, but she hesitates. She's like, I don't know. But before she can act on her impulses, the data begins deleting by itself. It turns out Momo is like, I will not let him win, and begins destroying her own mind in order to scatter the Y data to bits and pieces of her subconscious. And this makes Momo end up going catatonic. And Yuli immediately realizes, I made a mistake! I made a mistake! Momo, I will not let you die! And she begins trying to resuscitate her. And he's just like, fuck, I fucked up, but Momo, I'm sorry, I fucked up! We cut back to Shion overhearing the news about Momo's unfortunate events, and in what is both the perfect example of the voice direction for Shion's new voice, being like, oh god, and Shion's regressing into the character development, where all she has to say about the thing is, oh no, poor Momo. I'm like, girl, you fucking what? What the hell you got to say? Still not over that. So yeah, despite her seeming lack of urgency in the voice, Shion, Alan, and Cosmos are set to go help out Momo and dive into her subconscious to try and help her out. And that's what happens for this next dungeon. This next dungeon is a pretty big one. It's divided into like 2 major parts. You go inside Momo's subconscious and relive her memories as it was before, and a lot of her memories are recalling of what's it? Sakura Mizrahi, the person she was modeled after. You get to see a lot of her memories as well. You also get to see a lot of backstory involving Junior, during his time as a URTV with Guinan and Albedo when they were 12 years old. And it's like you go through a bit of a path in the summertime. I think you started in the summertime. Do a bit of like an hour of dungeoneering. Then you fight a boss in the middle of the end, and then you do the same thing again, but it's winter time now. Like you go through all of the areas again, but it's just winter now. As more stories revealed to you, and then you get to the end, and that's the end boss of Disc 1. By the way, did I mention this was multiple discs? This game is multiple discs, but Disc 1 is like a grand total of like 6 hours of playtime. Not counting the cutscenes, which probably count for like another 3 or so. I'm probably overselling that actually. It might be more like around 4.5 hours of playtime. That is correct. Episode 1 shipped 20% complete, actually, by the devs' own admittance. There was a lot of cut content. And all what we saw in Episode 2 was meant to be the second half of Episode 1. They were ambitious, those folks at Monolith Soft. Unfortunately, they were a little too ambitious. Alright, so quick rundown of what happens during this dungeon. So, you basically, like I said, you basically just relive the memories of, Sakura Mizrahi, where she just is basically, like, dead on, she looks like Momo. Like, she could pass for fucking, Sakura Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura. They look so close. Sakura's whole sweetheart, Junior had it pretty bad for her. Then she dies. And Junior was really sad about it. This is why he is so attached to Momo, since she obviously reminds him a lot of Sakura and the good times they spent together. We also learn that about certain things involving URTVs, such as their multiple purpose in life, to eradicate Udu. Their big boss man, Dmitry Yuriev, who is kind of bit of an insano, kind of sees himself as a bit of a high and mighty Jesus man, sorta. We also learn about some female URTVs. One particular one, her name is Citrine. She doesn't get to do much in this game, but know that she exists, considers herself superior to the male URTVs, and she's just there. And we also get to learn about how Albedo found out about his mostly immortality. All URTVs have certain functions about them that are unique to them. Albedo's just happens to be hella sick regeneration. We don't know how he found out, like specifically how he found out, like legitimately, but he eventually just shows Junior and Guinan. Like, hey guys, you want to see me do a cool trick? Where he takes an energy ball to his head, and then blows his head off. In the Japanese version, it was a gun. This understandably freaks the fuck out of Junior, like, what the fuck? Did he just kill himself? And then, Albedo's head comes back. It's like, ta-da! See, we're good, right? We can't die. Junior immediately decks him. He's like, no, you fool, we don't have these powers! We can die if we do that. You can't, but we can. But he's like, wait, what? Wait, what the fuck? When were they gonna tell me this? Moron? Oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit. Fuck, oh no. And after that, he starts going off the deep end, where we see, I think we see a little bit of what happens in the Miltian conflict. The URTVs try to connect with Udu, but Albedo guffs it, and we see him start laughing mad, like It's kind of hilarious and also very creepy. Hilarious in the fact that hearing young Albedo's voice is the same as Robin from Teen Titans. Demon Fang! Good old Lord Nerd thing. So, at the halfway point of the subconscious dungeon, you see, I believe the party gets to witness the group of URTVs is trying to call Udo out in the middle of the open. But most of the URTVs get absorbed and turned into Gnosis, and then you fight the Gnosis that's there. And it's an okay boss fight. That's really great. Basically the game is hoping that, hey, I hope you're into stock rushing by now. As well as exploiting elemental weaknesses to further damage. Another quirk about Xenosaga 2's battle system is that you can augment your attacks to do elemental damage, and for each successive hit of a certain element, you do increased damage. Like, say you do one attack of fire, and another attack of fire, and another attack of fire. I believe for each successive hit of the same element, the damage multiplier increases by 5%. So if you hit a dude's weakness and then just keep building up the multiplier, you can rack up lots of damage. Unfortunately, not every character can do this, because some characters have fixed elements. Ziggy has most of attacks as base fire, Chaos has aura, and Shion, ugh. Shion has both, Thunder and Beam in a very awkward position for her attacks, making her very hard to utilize this elemental combo system with her. She's kind of one of the worst party members in the game as a result. Chaos basically uses, like, martial arts. Like, he basically uses martial arts and infuses it with aura spells. Like, he uses his aura cheat, like he uses his ki to fight. The worst party member is Cosmos, actually. Oh yeah, Cosmos gets to join you for this part of the game. She doesn't like physically join the party, so they end up using her data, like a recreation of her data from the Encephalon, so they can use. And I believe we get to see her in her episode 2 art finally. Cosmos is another character who barely looks like herself starting in episode 2. Like, she feels like an entirely different character. Yeah, here, let me compare this again for you guys. So let me see if episode 1 Cosmos is here. Here's episode 1 Cosmos. And here's episode 2 Cosmos, affectionately dubbed Cosmos version 2, because that's her version 2 frame. Least favorite Xenosaga character is, spoiler. We'll talk about them when we get to episode 3. Second worst is, like, Shion by events of what happens because of said character in episode 3. It gets that bad. Least favorite Xenoblade? I think Lorithia. I don't like her. she just feels completely out of tone with the rest of the game. Oh yeah, there's a reason why like pretty much every single piece of media, except for like Project Cross Zone, uses the Episode 1 design for Cosmos, but they need to use her because it just sticks the landing much more. You know what? I want to show you something. You see Episode 2 design of Cosmos, right? Here's the DS version of said design. Where the DS version keeps the old art style intact from Episode 1. Looks pretty nice, right? Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 even uses the modified version of the design in 1. Oh, excuse me. So, anyway, they fight the boss, they do the whole dungeon thing again, you learn more about, the dudes, Sakura and everything. And then you get to the end bit, where you see, Albedo. He's like, hey, party! I'm glad you're here! You wanna know something? I'm glad you brought Momo with me! Or with you, so we can have some fun, eh? Hey! And Momo sees more about her memories, and this causes her subconscious to awaken, and she kind of goes into a massive fit. Her body starts convulsing and shit, and Albedo's like, ha ha ha! Gotcha, you fucked! Guess what? You coming here? That was also a trap, bitches! See, because of that, of Momo reliving all these memories, it causes her subconscious to awaken, which also unlocks the seal of the Y data, which is what Albedo was hoping for this entire time. So you fight off Albedo. He has a nice laugh. You have a nice tete-a-tete. And then he's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm just gonna take the Y in and out. Peace, guys! And, Homeboy uses the data to, open up a path to Old Milsha, which was sealed off ever since the Song of Nephilim decided to, take it away, since the Milshan conflict. And that ends this one! Jesus Christ! I'm fatigued as fuck and we just got through Disc 1! Don't worry, Disc 2 is a lot more straightforward, so I won't be that much, I'm more or less trying to wrap my head around shit. Yeah, see, all that explanation, that was just Disc 1. Okay, so Disc 2 starts off. With Old Milsha now open, the Federation government and the immigrant fleet, headed by Ormus, which are opposing villainous factions, are like, shit! We gotta get there, son! And they begin mobilizing to the Milshan space to see who gets there first. They initially wanted to just work together to grab the original Zohar sleeping on old Milsha, but the immigrant free was like, we got you, boys. And jumped and sped ahead of the Federation government. The Federation ends up being caught flat-footed, and they try to mount a response and to counter, but they don't get very far, unfortunately. The immigrant free repels them. We get to see Xion and Alan on board the Damarong, Vector's flying colony and their major base of operations, as she's trying to collect herself about things that have happened. Intermittent between all this stuff, we get to see her, Xion, talking with Nephilim, the little girl that she's been seeing since episode 1, in her thoughts and stuff. Telling her about, hey, remember the stuff about trying to save Febronia's sisters, right? You remember that from the first game, right? Don't forget about that.
Go!
So, back on second Milsha, in response to the immigrant free heading out to attack, Representative Helmer decides to launch a secret offensive onto Old Milsha using your party as a go-between. Basically, they're a neutral party to make sure that the Zohar can be reclaimed in neutral hands. And they'll take it with the Kukai and under control of Kukai Foundation, Vector Industries, and the subcommittee. Junior leads the charge in the newly refurbished Elsa Evolution. So after the first game, the Elsa got a complete makeover. Because it had to go through a lot of repairs, because it was really banged up at the end of episode 1. And looks great, by the way. The new Elsa is smoking. Has an entirely new deck and everything. Once again, Captain Matthews, Tony, and Hammer are tagging along, still being their jovial selves. Oh yeah, the Elsa has a side quest dedicated to it by collecting parts of scrap iron that you find in battle. You can sell them off and build up a separate money meter to pay off their debt, because Captain Matthews is a fucking gambling booze hound. Poor guy. So, in order, and also to make sure that Junior can succeed in his job and getting to Old Milsha before everyone else, Kanan and Jin join the party, and Jin brings along his ES with him. Actually, no, you don't get to use the Reuben in this game. What am I talking about? You do get others. You get to use the Asher. You get to use the Dina later, and the Zebulon. Asher is controlled by Junior, Zebulon is controlled by Momo, and Dina is later controlled by Cosmos. I completely forgot about the Reuben. The Reuben is in episode 3, so don't mind me, just my brain skipped a beat. So, Xion once again encounters Nephilim and Febronia in a vision, and is reminded of her goal to save Febronia's sisters, and so she decides to sneak off of the Damarong with Alan. Alan goes with her to basically try to stop Xion from doing something stupid. Bless his heart, Alan gets treated like shit in this game.
But he goes up to bat for Xion, doesn't stop the beat. Love this kid. Ooh, that's the doorbell. Hey, I'm back. So are my folks, so I'll turn down my volume a little bit. So anyway, Xion and Alan make their way out of the Damarong, and Wilhelm notices them escaping. And he's like, Xion doing this sort of thing will be very important, so I will make sure that she gets there safely, and secretly activates Cosmos from her sleeping, and Cosmos goes to follow her in the middle of space. Cosmos manages to catch up to her in time on her half of the vehicle that forms the Iestina. They combine to form, the two halves combine to form the Iestina. Pretty cool transformation sequence. And then the Iestina uses the X-Buster to completely eradicate the pursuing enemies in the restricted area that they were going to. Cosmos, one of Cosmos' main modus operandi weapons is called the X-Buster, basically a giant chest laser that she fires upon her enemies by opening up her abdomen, letting loose, and then absorbing Gnosis contents if they happen to be Gnosis. It is also the main form of the Iestina's attack. Also, the group that ended up attacking Cosmos and Xion was happened to be the Black Testament. named Voyager. He'll be relevant later. No, just know that he exists for now. Shion and Crow managed to reunite with Junior just in time to commence the mission on the Ormus Stronghold and make their way through. They infiltrate the Ormus Stronghold, get to about the bottom section, where they fight... I'm not shitting you. The Space Pope's ninja assassin cyborg, Orgilla, who's a bit character in this game, but... yes! Yeah, she even uses an energy sword. You can probably say Evil Raiden. It checks out. Orgilla happens to be one of the cooler boss fights in the game. Just because of how absurd she kind of is. Here, this is a good image. She also has like twin personalities going to work for her. During the fight, and they just kind of go at one another as you're fighting her. Pretty awesome fight. Makes good use of how the battle system is working. If you're not ready, then she'll absolutely floor you. You beat her, you activate the self-destruct on the Ormus Stronghold, and then you just kind of get the fuck out. Yeah, once you beat Orgilla, she's just gone. Poof. Like, I don't exist anymore. As the party attempts to make their escape from the Ormus Stronghold from the self-destruction, Pellegrini catches up to them, and you fight her as you're on your way outside. It's kind of a threatening boss fight because there's a time limit. You gotta make sure you beat her before the time runs out. There's only a buckle on the opposite end of the boot. So you gotta be careful about this. I do not recall any like specific moves between Richard and Herman that involve that sort of sequence. It's been a while. So you get through the Ormus Stronghold, you get through the Abyss, and then you meet up with the Durandal again. He manages to save your ass just in the nick of time before the Elsa is pulled into the two black holes that are surrounding the Ormus Stronghold. Teaming up with Guinan again and having the resources of the Durandal, the party makes it to the labyrinth, Labyrinthos safely on Old Miltia, and then it's just like one very long trek to the climax point of the game. Not necessarily the final boss, there's still one more dungeon after this. But once you land on Old Miltia, it's a long stretch of gameplay and plot just kind of thrown at you.
Unfortunately, a lot of it is thrown at you with the use of ES battles. Unfortunately, ES battles are not perfect. You can only use 2 at a time, even though you have 3, and the party room could easily fit 3. I just did it because... shrug. Yeah, the AIs seem to be very good at this game. As you make your way across, the group encounters Commander Vanderkam. You may recall him as the dude with the X paint on his face in the first game, who beats the shit out of his subordinates for daring to talk out of line, and he's also memorable for calling Shion a bimbo. Here he's got a typical Southern Sergeant sort of voice to him now as he pilots is in command of the Nagelfluck cannon. This huge-ass railgun, which you have to destroy before you make your way inside to Labyrinthos. Pretty fun boss, all things considered. Like, all the ES boss fights are pretty good. He is just the same guy in Xenogears. Dude! As you make your way inside Labyrinthos, Jin confirms his suspicions by being able to analyze part of the Y data that was in Canaan. It turns out that Joachim's Rahi was being used during the Miltian conflict. The YouTube organization, Immigrant Free, and the Hyams Society are all fronts from the Onda Society, and Joachim Mizrahi forced Old Miltia into the Abyss to prevent the reawakening of Udu, a powerful wave that is fused with the original Zohar. So as that, in case you didn't catch that, Joachim Mizrahi was actually a hero manipulated by Ormus, who were just looking for their own ends to manipulate shit. And they were just the fronts behind Utic and the Immigrant Fleet. So, Labyrinthos, big dungeon, there's a lot of stuff going on, it's kind of boring. As you make your way to the middle of the section of it, you run into Margulis again. Jin and Margulis have another pretty sick duel, and you fight him for real in another serious boss fight. Margulis is a much more serious opponent this time, as he now has the ability to inflict a non-standard game over on your party. He can cast the H stop stats effect to the entire party, and if he successfully gets this off, then it's an automatic game over. You have to beat him before he pulls it off. You fight, you win. Margus is like, ah, good, Uzuki, you are learning well, but next time, you'll be the victor of this duel, haha. He just kind of buggers off again. Jesus Christ, I'm looking at the score right now. Bruno is on fire. In the core of Labyrinthos proper, Shion and everyone gets to see the Zohar, and it is being held up by Cecily and Calf, Abronia's sisters, or rather, what's left of them. Go! They are shells of their former selves, basically horribly mutilated and on life support, powering the Zohar. This causes Shion to freak the fuck out upon witnessing her two friends from her childhood just being, oh god. And then the Pope appears and he's like, haha, you've made it this far.
Do you like my plan? Do you like this? Seeing this? It's great, isn't it? I am the Pope, haha. He's like, evil speech, Ormus and the Zohar will grant humans to the great eternity. Udu and the Zohar begin to glow, and Cosmos attempts to open fire on Cecily and Kafnor to stop the Zohar from doing the thing. But Shion is like very hesitant, like, no, please, they're my friends. Please don't do this, Cosmos. She very quickly has to change of heart after thinking about it for a second, and she doesn't want to see them being in pain. But that's like only after, like, I think Fabronia calls into Shion's memory. And she's like, hey, please, Shion, don't do this, by the way. My sisters are suffering right now. Please just end it for them. Don't be selfish right now. And you see Shion just like freaking the fuck out, like, no, I can't do this. This is cruel and awful, and I hate this, and I hate you. Hey, Shion?
Why does it have to be me? Why did you call me? I won't do it! I can't do it! Shion.
Then she tells Cosmos to open fire, and she kills the two sisters. Unfortunately, it's too late. As the Zohar summon succeeds, and the Pope summons another Joachim Mizrahi mention, Proto-Omega, to fuse with the Zohar and to create a weapon that could strike anywhere in space. Dude! The Lord Pope explains that he will use Omega to destroy the Gnosis and then command the galaxy under the name of Ormus. And then all hell breaks loose, almost literally, as the party has to forcibly escape the planet while the Omega system wakes up from within Second Miltia, or from within Old Miltia. And by awaken, I mean literally a planet-sized god being sleeping within just kind of bursts open from the planet, destroying it, and like all of the immigrant fleet soldiers that are still stationed there. It's another pretty awesome cutscene because it looks very impressive. And you just see the Earth's crust just going everywhere as the planet is completely eviscerated. And when you see the Omega system standing front proper, everyone just looking on like, oh fuck. Meanwhile, as the Omega system is awakening, Guinan, our poor lad, is going through a lot of identity crisis at the moment because he is currently struggling to keep his own identity in check as Dmitry Yuriev, the URTV's creator, is like kept his soul housed within Guinan, and Guinan is trying to fight Yuriev from taking over his body. But unfortunately, he fails this time, and Dmitry Yuriev takes control of Guinan's body. I believe this stays this way for the rest of the game. Next time we see Shion, she is just completely taken aback from the whole murdering of Cecily and Kath. Jin tries to comfort her, but Shion just basically tells him off. Just leave me to my grief. Yes, please tell your older brother who's just seriously trying to help you. and is just trying to be good big brother for his little sister to get the fuck out. You don't know what you're doing. No one understands my pain. Stay the course, Shion. You're clearly suffering, but nah, don't worry about it. So, the wiki has it pointed out as, Shion has a breakdown full of anger and sadness, and becomes angry at the universe for being thrown into another situation where she's forced to watch someone die. As we forget, she had to watch her boyfriend get utterly massacred by the Cosmos prototype years prior. And then before that, she had to watch her parents die by the hands of transformed humans by the Song of Nephilim. Poor girl hasn't had it easy, but she's just going about it entirely the wrong way. Jin attempts to comfort her by telling her that Veronica probably loves Shion as much as she did her real sisters. He describes her as another sister bound by the chains of her past. Shion doesn't get it at first, but then Jin's like, "You're the other sister, girl." And Feb was like giving Shion just a painful role because she knew that she would be looking out for them as a sister would. Also, the world sucks, is full of pain, and you have to make the most of it, girl, or you either learn to accept it, or say fuck it, fuck the world, and become a recluse. But Jin also tells Shion, regardless of her decision, that you will not be alone, and I will support you whatever decision you make for yourself. And then Shion just leaves. It's like, oh, fuck this. I need more of a drink. I'll be right back. Jesus Christ, my throat is massively parched from all this exposition. Don't worry, we're almost done. So, Margulis and the high-end scientist Sellers, he's this red-headed blind dude in a wheelchair with shades. We saw him briefly in episode 1. They decide, you know what? Fuck the Space Pope, he's clearly not doing this shit in our best interests. And they decide to just go rogue. And they go in favor of Highline. So the Space Pope is left to defend himself in the Omega system. And so the party gets to go in for the final dungeon into the Omega system itself to try and fight the Space Pope and destroy the Omega system before it causes any serious harm. As they make their way inside, the party is attacked by a giant hostile church known as the Cathedral. They fight it in their yeses, I think. I think it's an ES battle. And after you successfully take them down, all that's left is the Pope himself, who is currently squaring off with Albedo, who's fighting him for his own reasons. Albedo tries to do his best against the literal Space Pope with a world-destroying, a universe-destroying system, but he's not doing so good. Using powerful magic, he's actually able to defeat Albedo. Like, legit defeat him. Like, he's down. So, once Albedo is downed, the three testaments, the Red Testament, Blue Testament, and Black Testament, all appear to Albedo and revive him, and they also end up recruiting him to their side. So they can use Albedo so he can fulfill his own wish of making contact with Voodoo and then finally die for real. And this ends up morphing Milton Space into a space-time anomaly. So, meanwhile, your party is left to fight the Space Pope, who, believe it or not, is the final boss of the game. And he's got Proto Omega behind him, ready to go. Who occasionally does an action, but is mostly just passive from the fight. Space Pope, kind of puts up a fight. He's not really that impressive. He has two phases. Second phase is pretty notorious because it provides you with a fake out. Like, you see the victory screen and everything, and then he's like, "Ha, you fools!" He cuts the victory screen in half, and you fight him again for real. Aside from that, he doesn't really do a whole lot until waiting for Proto Omega to do a thing. Occasionally, but otherwise he's just mostly passive, with a lot of sass effects. That sort of thing. But eventually, the party prevails. Random, huh? And then the space-time anomaly just kind of goes to do its thing, with the Testaments doing the thing. We also get to see Voyager for the first time, unmasked, who is someone that Ziggy knows, in fact. Ziggy knows who Voyager is because he's got the look of the dude who ended up murdering his son while Ziggy was still alive in a human body. And we get to see Ziggy for the first time in the series go off the deep end and just bum rush him. It doesn't work, but points for trying, my guy. So, after defeating Pope, and everyone escapes. The space-time anomaly that's left behind by Albedo. Junior decides to confront it alone, without the help of everyone else. Then he just goes into the anomaly by himself. Albedo manipulates the anomaly to taunt Junior, showing revised memories to forcibly try to make Junior hate him and get him to kill him. Because Albedo just wants to die at this point. And he wants Junior to do it because he believes that Junior is the only one capable to actually be able to kill him. Despite Sakura sacrificing herself to save Junior, Albedo told Junior that he was the one who ended up killing Sakura, hoping that will be the push that Junior needs to get him over the edge. But it is dismissed when Sakura reveals the truth to Junior. And the true final boss of Xenosaga 2 is a shirtless Albedo fused with Udo and like a bunch of Kirschwashers surrounding him. The the tan-skinned 100 series realities that look like Momo. A bunch of those running around there too. Oof, almost got stars there. In this final battle, you can't lose. It is a long, bit of a very much of a scripted battle, as Junior tries to goad Albedo into attacking and trying to kill him once and for all. And any time Junior attempts to die, or is close to dying, Albedo just revives him and says, "Do it, get on with it." So you can't lose this fight. Eventually, Junior succeeds. Albedo finally dies, and he just ascends into heaven, it looks like. Kirschwashers with wings just come in and just take him away. The space anomaly disappears, but the original Zohar is still in space, just kind of floating there. Unfortunately, before the Kukai Foundation and Randall can snatch the Zohar from themselves, it morphs into a giant, and I mean giant, we're talking the size of a star here, or a star system here, Gnosis, called Abel's Ark. And this thing is the size of a galaxy. Abel's Ark now houses the original Zohar, and then just poofs. It just goes away. See you in episode 3, nerds. Well, Chaos and Wilhelm are like, They're like wondering what's going on here now. What's going on in this thread? Wilhelm also lets slip that, he also calls Chaos by a different name, Yeshua. After that, you've reached the ending. The party tries to go on and live normal lives again as they separate. Though Jin believes, oh, this isn't over yet, and believes that Ormus is still alive, and they're going to be doing a thing sometime soon, and that the Zohar is under the control of this new unknown Gnosis. Shion goes on for her normal life, I think, for a little while before the events of episode 3 happen. Junior and Momo basically become buddies, and gets a little dog, a cute little puppy with white fur, and calls him Albedo. speaking of albedo, we see Wilhelm with the other testaments. He's like, I see. This guy? I told you have a much bigger, I told you have a minor role in the grand scheme of things. Let's change that as he crowns the newest White Testament, Albedo. Wilhelm starts the game by calling him Weaver of the Eternal Circle of Zarathustra. Roll credits. Oh god. That's it. That's Xenosaga Episode II. Oh, fuck. That was a fucking trial. You know what, man? No, it is not worth playing at all. Like, Episode 3 has a feature that can let you see the major important story bits from Episode 1 and 2, if you want to catch up. Albeit it's on a separate disc, but... It also has an enhanced database, so if you really just want to know about stuff, you can just look it up on Episode 3's database. But like, long story short, Momo gets to go back home to UMN Control Center, gets her memories wiped and her data snatched by Albedo. Junior relives traumatic experiences. Shion whines a lot. They beat the Space Pope. Wait for the next game to start, and that's Episode 2. Yeah, sorry about that. After the one with Stronghold stuff, my memory about the game just kind of nosedives. I don't remember stuff vividly as I used to. I mean, because I've only gone to that part once. Trust me, Xenosaga 3 is better, but by now the damage has been done tremendously because, oh boy, people were not kind to Episode 2 at all. They fucking went to town on Episode 2. And it is a miracle that the Xenosaga ended up finishing as it did. But, because like, Xenosaga 3, they did their damnedest to try and save the sinking ship. They tried, and they did a good job. But, oof, you can really tell that no one gave a shit anymore. There was like a whole bunch of plot points being crammed in for the last minute and trying to be resolved. The budget was slashed a lot. Resulting in very clunky cutscene execution and exposition. That sort of thing. Still a good game, Episode 3, but oof. Too bad about Episode 1 and 2 that was on the DS and then without localized, because by all accounts from what I was able to see, looks like far and away the superior choice to playing actual Episode 2. Since it keeps most of Episode 1's gameplay, and simplifies its story, with Episode 1's much better. Well, Matt, Xenosaga references a lot of things from Xenogears Wholesale, even if they're not direct references. There's a lot of nods and winks to things that were in Xenogears, especially in Episode 3. Xenoblade, by comparison, is largely just... it shares the name and some mythos about the core series tenets, but otherwise is completely separate continuity. Like, the games all you have Ether as a base for them, terms of mana, for example. And the Zohar is, its design is used for a certain element in Xenoblade 2. You see it in the designs of Pyra and Mithra, for example. But on the whole, well, they're largely just unrelated. Like, the only major concession that Xenoblade 2 has to Xenosaga is that Cosmos is in it. But she's just a cameo. I hope that was enlightening to some of you if you were able to keep up with me at all. If you were, my hat's off to you. Even I was starting to lose track of myself after a while of what I was going to do. Oh boy, we get to talk about Telos next time. We'll save it for another day. I think we'll save it for Sonic Shuffle. Because Episode 3 is a long one, boys. Man, once again, I can't believe I managed to talk about the entire game all the way through. Just enough time on the clock to finish the game grind out. Damn, I was hoping I was gonna be able to get to shading Felicia's face today. Although I knew going into the soda notes today, I was gonna be distracted a lot and slow down my pace of drawing this board until I was finished. But you don't understand, I had to get that off my chest somehow. I've been holding that in for how many years? Well, if I ever do that Discord playthrough of episode 1 and 2, hopefully I'll actually finish it. I'm gonna have voices in my head and be like, what the fuck is going on in this game? Alright, we're done then. Let's see how did we do in this game that I barely paid attention to. Bonus stars, how do we do? Versus minigame star. Minigame star is Birdo. Second is running. Who ran the farthest? Birdo. And the last bonus star is red. The star is Toad and Hammer Bro. That was cool. And the winner is, wow, Chocolat Birdo. She just kind of dominated from what I was able to tell, just by at a glance. Jesus Christ. Saving that. Let's look at this. Wow, she just beat out Toadette by 3 coins. Impressive. Just beat out Waluigi with the most coins in shops. Both Waluigi and Birdo with the most candy. Wow. 30 spaces more than second place for running. 3599, 3522. 2 luckies. Only 1 cycle of VP and Bowser this time. That was quite a game.